Today, we have a Risk the World Conquest game. Actually, we don't have Risk the World Conquest game. We have something even cooler. We have the game I made. Quit. That's not part of it, but I got red dice, I got white dice, I got all these different factions of cards. Of characters. And I called it American Conquest. This is my alternate history board game set in America. It plays similar to Axis and Allies. And I have territories. I have the Alaskan territory here run by USSR or Russia. I have British Canada. I have the United States of America. I have the Confederate States of America. I have the California Republic over here. I have the Texas Republic. I have Spanish Mexico. I have the disputed Amazon. And I have the French Mexico, or French South America. Spanish Mexico is free. French Mexico is occupied by France. So Spain runs it. And then I have Cuba here. That's on its own. See, I have all these C spaces have numbers. And then each territory has a number on it, which represents the UPC value, just like in Axis and Allies. So, and on the front or back of the board or whatever, you have a standard Risk game, so you can always play Risk. Now, I have different territories or different factions. Like Mexico, I have is yellow. And I painted battleship ships, so each player has ships. They have their own navy. And they have, I got some airplanes from the Axis and Allies, so they can have their own. They have, because it's set in a modern day time, in an alternate history. So that it works like Axis and Allies. So in this case, the cannons are like tanks. Infantry are like infantry, and the horses are cavalry. And then we have the ships, and we have the airplanes. So each faction has their own thing. We have Mexico has yellow, United States has dark blue, France has light blue. The drug cartels, I implemented a drug cartel system here. They own Cuba, and they're kind of like a neutral faction, sort of, but I guess the player could play them. The United Kingdom has dark red. Russia has the light red. See, some of these I had to paint. The Confederate States of America have gray, and the independent Texas has green. So there's these different factions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 different factions. Then we have attack and defense dice, red and white dice. And And here is the file with the rules. American Conquest. Got some other stuff in here. Oh, this is the rule for that Monopoly game I showed y'all earlier. Okay, that's what that's for. Here is the timeline of the American Conquest game. It starts with the War of 1812. And then we have the Revolutionary War. Then we have the Texas-Mexican War, Mexican Revolutions during this and after the Civil War. Then we have the Civil War. We have the Cuban Independence, American-French War, the diplomatic wars. Some of this kind of stuff. This is for a European version of this game where we do European conquest, where it's going to include Europe and Asia, based on the diplomatic war, based on the alternate diplomatic wars timeline. Here is my concept of my map when I first did it, before I made a bigger one, which the bigger one actually is this one copied and expanded. Here is concept design, invented by artwork, the rules, pieces, all that created by me. Planes are from Axis and Allies, the armies are from Risk, the ships are from Battleship. How much money I spent on it so far, which I think I spent about here's 2 to 4 players. Ideas. Here's the rules. Here's some appendixes, stuff I wrote down in appendixes. Here's the land. The land costs, infantry's cost 3. Cavalry cost, it's cost, attack, defense, move. Cost, attack, defense, move. Tanks, the cannons, cost, attack, defense, move. Air are the fighters, cost, attack, defense, move. Sea, we got the different sea ships, we got battleships. We got battleships, destroyers, submarines. SA is a special ability, by the way. PT boats, which are the transports. There's that. And then we got aircraft carriers, cost, attack, defense, move. We got the plane pieces, which are gray for the Confederate States, dark blue for the United States, green for Texas. I would have did yellow, but I did yellow for Mexico, Mexican, Spain. France, light blue, United Kingdom, light red, Russia or USSR, red dark, and the drug cartels, which are a neutral faction. Unless, of course, you have an 8-player game, then they would be an actual faction. Here are the flags for the United States. We have the Texas flag, the Confederate States of America flag, which I've actually discovered they had an official flag, and that's just the battle flag, but most people would know that one better. This is the United States of America flag. Here's this France's flag. This is the United Kingdom's flag. And here are the United SSR's flag. And this is supposed to be the Mexican flag, which I didn't finish coloring it. And now we'll look at the rules. Hold on. In the rules, I'll start off and I go, in an alternate timeline where the Americas are divided because of wars, there is now a new war to control all of the Americas. The year is 2020 AD. I figure that's a reasonable year. It's been about 150 years of peace and tranquility. Now old hostilities break. Each faction wants the Americas for their own reasons and will fight for dominance over it all. And I wrote even a little historical setting here. History. Ever since settlement in the 1700s by Russia, France, Britain, Spain, etc., it's been disputed and fought over. As it would happen, colonies will want independence and fight for it. That's what happened in the Revolutionary War of 1775 and 76. The United States was founded. Seceded from Britain and more land they gained from conquest in the War of 1812. While in 1845 to 1850, the Texans fought for freedom from Spain. They won their independence and created the Texas territories. Actually, they created the Republic of Texas. But then black men would become free by the Emancipation Proclamation. The South would had go for it, so they formed the Confederate States of America in 1860. Civil War goes on for 6 years until Robert E. Lee, Commander-in-Chief of the Confederate States of America, conquers Washington, D.C., and peace is declared in December 1850. The CSA is now an official country. Actually, that's just for my timeline, but I could actually come up with several other alternate possibilities or reasons why the South would become their own country. While the Civil War ran on, the Mexicans wanted freedom from France, but 15 years after the Civil War, they finally got it. Mexico and France have their own war. Aided by Spain, they defeat the French and thus gain their independence on March the 3rd, 1870. Spanish Mexico is established. Also during the diplomatic wars of 1792 to 1815, the Russian Federation gains more land for the Alaskan territories, and they keep them until now, when war once again breaks out. Here's a little timeline that I did of how it all came about. And here's the object of the game. Basically, the object of the game is to rule all of the Americas. For a shorter game, do it with a teammate. Alliance game. American Conqueror's rules continue. The turn order is Russia. Then we got Texas, Britain, France, Spanish Mexico, United States of America, Confederate States of America, and then the drug cartels. Each have starting income, how much infantry they start with, cavalry, tanks, and the ships. Which I was fair because I actually just gave everybody equal amount. Like you would do in Risk, I just gave everybody equal amount for more simplicity. And then the things you can do on your turn are diplomacy, buy troops, planes and ships, buy units basically, move units into combat, which would be fight, and then fight, move units not into combat, place new units, and collect income. You pick a player to make a peace treaty with. They gotta agree to be in a peace treaty. Now, if you're in a peace treaty, basically it means you're not going to attack them and they're not going to attack you for that round. For your turn and their turn. That's all peace treaty is, basically. Then step 2 was purchase units with your money. I counted everything in the billions, but we could have IPs. We could have basically IPC symbols that would represent that. Each number on the board, like in Axis and Allies, for example, these numbers right here, like 3, represent 3 billion. Basically. Dollars of how much money you make. I actually tried to make it even on the board too, with everybody starting out with the same amount of income. 3 is you get to move your units onto enemy spaces. That way, like in Axis and Allies, you move them, and then you fight. And you fight by rolling the dice the same way that you basically fight. Combat is exactly the same as in Axis and Allies. Now, the next one is you can move your units onto territories that you own. This would be like your non-combat move, because the first one's your combat move, and then you fight. This is your non-combat move. So any troops that didn't fight in the combat can now move in the non-combat move. But with mine, in mine, you can move your troops onto allies' territories because you are at peace without having to have a battle with them. Then you can place your new units into any territories you control, occupy, the ones that you purchased. Then you collect your income. Movement. This is how many spaces each force moves. Infantry and cavalry do 1, tanks do 2, fighters 4, battleships, destroyers, and submarines do 2 spaces. PT boats are transports, which they can move 3. Aircraft carriers can move 2. Aircraft carrier can hold 2 fighters, of course, and transport can transport the same amount as in Axis and Allies, which is 2 or 3 units, I believe. This is their attack and defense, which is on that other list that I wrote. They attack with 1 and 2. So that is American Conquest game that I invented, built, created, did everything to. Have actually been the only one to play test it too, so it's completely created, made by me. And we'll just look at the board a little more. Well, you may have saw my Monopoly game that I did. I actually did do some rules concepts here, and these are those rules concepts. I forgot that I even did rule concepts at all, and here are some information / concepts that I did here. I called it Ultimate Monopoly. These are prices. There's steerings here. And here is a few more ideas like starting income, object, trades, mortgages, proven properties, and rents. Now I didn't actually name the territories like they do in Axis and Allies, but we'll look at each faction's area of land better. I did put down the name of certain seas like the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean over here, but I didn't name the territories. I just made up arbitrary lines that correspond to actually nothing, really. They just are there for the sake of being there. So here is so there's really, the borders really don't have any, there's nothing that matches the borders. There's literally no, there's British Canada, there's Alaska, which is Russia, there's the United States of America, there's the Confederate States of America, there's California, which is independent, but it would be run just like Cuba by the cartels. There's Texas. I did put down cities, like the cities are the capitals. There's Central America, which is, this is, Central America was regularly, see, Mexico's been split in half, as you can tell, between Texas and, there's the rest of Mexico. There's disputed Amazon, which is disputed by Spain and France. It's basically disputed by these two territories. So it's not owned really by anybody. And there's France, or French Mexico, or bottom of, I don't know what they would call these places, but that's pretty much the whole entire game board. Now if you notice, most of the wars would probably fall up top because everybody's up there, with the exception of down here where France doesn't have any ability to do anything, unless they use ships to go up. But there's going to be so many other ships. There's going to be so many other ships up around here that it's going to be impossible for them to do anything, really. And I just threw the drug cartels in for fun. This would be basically what Mexico and France is fighting over. But this Mexico might get a little attacked by this Texas. And I don't have the rule like in, I just have the city capitals there because, really just because. I really don't have them there because of any reason. Like in Axis and Allies, you capture the capital city, you practically really badly harm the faction. I didn't do that. I just put them there because historically that's kind of where cities would be. Maybe that's the only reason I put them there. They do have no other special abilities, and like my Civil War, I guess risk-ish game that plays like this one. That's just the Civil War. I didn't really make any cities for it at all where it would work as the same system as Axis and Allies. So if you were to make an alternate history war game where you have history change and then few things in history changed and you would made a map of those things that changed, what would you have done differently? Comment down below, and thank you for the 201 subscribers. Now this is a board that I made for the game that came with these tokens. I was going to create a like a pirate ship sailing type game, but never really got around to it. I just made the board. Either way, that's pretty cool. I made them on the back of Monopoly boards because they had so many Monopoly boards. Here's like a simple one. I forget, there was this pocket model game, I think it was called Pirates, and they came with these little islands, and I thought, hey, why not make a board for it, a game based on it. Heck, if y'all like these kind of videos, I'm done. I got like books where I've made new rules and we've combined games and different things like that together. If y'all are interested in that, comment down below. I might do videos on my own special edition games or rules of how to combine multiple copies of the same type of game together, like 4-board Monopoly is one I've done. Another one that I've done was mixing 2 or more Risk games together. Like, since there's 2 Star Wars Risks, I created a Time Wars and a regular one together where you combine the classic Clone Wars, and you combine but you can merge all kinds of different Risk games together, because Risk, if you do it right, some of them are compatible with each other, which is interesting. They're compatible with each other because they got some of the same rules and game mechanics, and some of them are set in space with planets, and you can merge those with other ones that are set in space with planets. Some of them have different individual planet by themselves, so you could have a multiverse situation going on with these Risk games. And I have created I have lists of which Risks would go best together. Like, actually, and I've gotten some new ones now, so I could actually do more videos on stuff like that. The things I would have added to other games, I could do that, stuff like that, if that would go. Like, remember, guys, good all the time, guys, good. Keep on gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for the 200 subscribers. Hope you enjoyed these recent games that I made, or I created, or I came up with the idea and concept of it. And I guess it's time to go back up in the attic and put them back up till another time, unless someone comes down to play them with me. Which, I like war and strategy type games, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get anybody to play with. Maybe, just maybe, I should take this game to, I don't know, the Comic-Con next time, and see if there's anybody who wants to play it. Worth a shot. Anyway, God's good all the time God's good. Jesus loves you. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Keep on gaming, keep on collecting. And thank you for the 201 subscribers. 201 subscribers. So, share these videos. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Because, I would love to have you, my subscribers, you, I'm pointing at you, participate and tell me what you would love to see on my channel. Tell me things, tell me what game you want me to review. Tell me what other things you would like to see happen. Just be involved, be part of it, because you subscribers, yes, you are more important than me when it comes to the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna post things I like and I want and I agree and I believe in and stuff, but mostly this channel, while it's an expression of stuff that I collect, I like, I enjoy, it's also, I would like y'all to be involved in it just as much as I am involved in it, if you grasp my concept. And I would love to hear y'all's thoughts, ideas, comments. I try to respond to every comment if possible. And if y'all have channels and y'all subscribe to me, I try to subscribe back, and I try to watch some of y'all's videos to help you out. Basically, that's all I have for today, and hope everybody has a great, wonderful day, and go conquer something. And conquer stuff, and keep stuff, collect stuff, and keep on gaming. Keep on subscribing and keep on being cool, because you, the subscribers, are the best.